If he's as bad as you say, that half of this country is now supporting this person who could be the 47th president of the United States, why is that happening?
This is an election for president of the United States. It's not supposed to be easy.
I know, but
it's not supposed to be. It is not supposed to be a cakewalk for anyone.
So are they misguided, the 50%?
Listen,
are they stupid? What is it?
I would never say that about the American people. And in fact, if you listen to Donald Trump, if you watch any of his rallies, he's the one who tends to demean and belittle and diminish the American people. He's the one who talks about an enemy within, an enemy within, talking about the American people, suggesting he would turn the American military on the American people.
We asked that question to the former president today. Harris Faulkner had a town hall, and this is how he responded.
I heard about that. They were saying I was like threatening. I'm not threatening anybody. They're the ones doing the threatening. They do phony investigations. I've been investigated more than Alphonse Capone. He was the greatest gangster. No, it's true. No, but think of it. It's called weaponization of government. It's a terrible thing.
So,
Brett, I'm sorry, and with all due respect, that clip was not what he has been saying about the enemy within that he has repeated when he's speaking about the American people. That's not what you just showed.
Well, he was asked about that specific...
No, that's not what you just showed. In all fairness and respect to you...
that was the question that we asked him.
You didn't show that, and here's the bottom line. He has repeated it many times, and you and I both know that. And you and I both know that he has talked about turning the American military on the American people. He has talked about going after people who are engaged in peaceful protest. He has talked about locking people up because they disagree with him. This is a democracy. And in a democracy, the President of the United States, in the United States of America, should be willing to be able to handle criticism without saying he'd lock people up for doing it. And this is what is at stake, which is why you have someone like the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff saying what Mark Milley has said about Donald Trump being a threat to the United States of America.
Ese fue Brett Baier de Fox, claramente tratando de complacer a una audiencia de una sola persona, después de que Trump perdiera la compostura ante la idea de una entrevista fácil en su propio territorio. Para ganarse el favor del expresidente, Baier entró con todas las armas encendidas, dando lo que creo que fue la entrevista más difícil de la campaña, una que Harris superó con gran éxito. Ahora, para ir directo al grano, Baier intenta restar importancia a los comentarios de Donald Trump haciendo referencia a una respuesta mediocre que dio en una entrevista con Maria Bartiromo de Fox. Sin embargo, para crédito de Harris, ella señala que la retórica preocupante de Trump sobre el enemigo desde adentro se extiende mucho más allá de esa única instancia. Ella conoce íntimamente este tema porque había citado sus palabras exactas durante su meeting unos días antes.
So after all these years, we know who Donald Trump is. He is someone who will stop at nothing to claim power for himself. And you don't have to take my word for it. I've said for a while now, watch his rallies. Listen to his words. He tells us who he is. And he tells us what he would do if he is elected president. So here tonight, I will show you one example of Donald Trump's worldview and intentions. Please roll the clip.
The worst people are the enemies from within.
The enemy from within. Those people are more dangerous, the enemy from within, than Russia and China.
These people should be put in jail the way they talk about our judges and our justices. Now, if you had one really violent day, one rough hour, and I mean real rough.
I think the bigger problem are the people from within. We have some very bad people. We have some sick people, radical left lunatics. And I think they're and it should be very easily handled by, if necessary, by National Guard, or if really necessary, by the military.
So you heard his words. You heard his words coming from him. He's talking about the enemy within Pennsylvania. He's talking about the enemy within our country, Pennsylvania. He's talking about that he considers anyone who doesn't support him or who will not bend to his will an enemy of our country. It's a serious issue. He is saying that he would use the military to go after them. Think about this. And we know who he would target. And we know who he would target because he has attacked them before. Journalists whose stories he doesn't like. Election officials who refuse to cheat by filling extra votes and finding extra votes for him. Judges who insist on following the law instead of bending to his will. This is among the reasons I believe so strongly that a second Trump term would be a huge risk for America and dangerous.
Cuando Baer sugiere que Trump no es tan malo como parece en este tema, seamos claros, esa no es la realidad. De hecho, tómense un momento para escuchar la respuesta completa de Trump a Bomo sobre las acciones antidemocráticas que está dispuesto a tomar contra lo que él llama el enemigo desde adentro.
We are going to end all sanctuary cities immediately. We're going to end them. Because they're really...
Is that an executive order you do that with?
They're really... I can do it with an executive order. I'll have to do it with an executive order. You can do it with the aliens of 1798. We can do things in terms of moving people out. We can move them out of the sanctuary.
Entiendo que Donald Trump tenga dificultades para articular un pensamiento completo en estos días, pero lo que parece estar insinuando es su intención de invocar la Ley de Enemigos Extranjeros de 1798. Esta legislación otorga al presidente la autoridad para deportar a las personas que se encuentran en el país ilegalmente y que provienen de naciones con las que Estados Unidos está en guerra. Históricamente, sirvió como base legal para el internamiento de estadounidenses de origen japonés durante la Segunda Guerra Mundial. En esencia, no solo la aplicación de esta ley en el contexto actual sería fundamentalmente errónea y profundamente preocupante, sino que también significa que Trump está recurriendo a uno de los capítulos más oscuros de la historia estadounidense para apoyar su postura. Es difícil determinar qué es peor, su comprensión de la historia o sus intenciones, pero honestamente, ¿acaso importa en este momento? Me gustaría volver a tratar algo que se mencionó anteriormente en relación con este tema.
If he's as bad as you say, that half of this country is now supporting this person who could be the 47th president of the United States, why is that happening?
A pesar de los numerosos problemas de Trump, es sorprendente que la mitad del país todavía lo apoye. Esto plantea la pregunta, ¿por qué? Tomemos como ejemplo a Brett Baer de Fox News. Esta es la misma cadena que recientemente desembolsó $787 millones por mentir en nombre de Trump. Te hace preguntarte por qué tanta gente podría descartar la realidad de la conducta criminal de Trump y seguir excusando sus acciones. ¿Podría estar relacionado con la misma cadena que muestra su logotipo de manera prominente en la parte inferior de la pantalla? Es realmente uno de los grandes misterios de la vida. Ahora bien, sé que algunos de ustedes pueden estar preguntándose por qué alguien validaría a Fox News con una aparición. La respuesta es sencilla. Podemos tratar de ignorar a Fox, pero eso no significa que simplemente desaparecerá. Sigue siendo la cadena de noticias más vista en los Estados Unidos. Si nos negamos a interactuar con su audiencia, esencialmente estamos permitiendo que actores de mala fe en esa plataforma difundan sus mentiras sin control. Entonces, cuando Kamala Harris aparezca en el aire, el peor escenario posible es que quienes no la apoyaban antes tampoco lo hagan. Pero, ¿y el mejor escenario posible? Algunos podrían reconsiderar su postura. No olvidemos que manejó bastante bien lo que claramente fue una entrevista hostil. Es totalmente posible que esto pueda impulsar a algunos espectadores a mirarla 2 veces. Además, considere las implicaciones más amplias de esta entrevista. Si bien los republicanos afirman que ha estado ausente de los medios, Harris ha estado activa en varias plataformas, incluidas Call Her Daddy, Howard Stern, All the Smoke, 60 Minutes, y ahora con Brett Baier en Fox News. En contraste, Trump ha cancelado varias entrevistas clave, incluida una con 60 Minutes y otra con CNBC, y se saltó un segundo debate contra Harris. Sin embargo, logró un cabildo abierto con la aparentemente tranquila Kristi Noem. Entonces, recuérdenme de nuevo, ¿quién le teme a las preguntas difíciles? Entiendo el objetivo de Brett Baier con esta entrevista, pero lo que no se dio cuenta es que estaba tratando de defender lo indefendible. Harris lo dejó muy claro. Si bien la manipulación psicológica puede funcionar si no hay oposición, ella no estaba dispuesta a permitir que él se saliera con la suya sin que nadie la cuestionara.